everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.02 version 8, and it's not version 7. I almost said that right there, but it is actually version 8 as that has been released. In the many months since I last did a cast, I do apologize for this hiatus. I say that a lot at the start of my videos, but once again, I'm very sorry. I kept meaning to get something up to you guys to let you know that I was not producing content or didn't feel anything for it, but I kept saying I would, and I kept forgetting to do so as the business of life kept catching up with me. But anyway, before I get into that, as you can see up in the north, it is going to be the royal green Mordor of Talos, and to the southeast, he's going to be facing the red Elves of Asba. Now, as you can see, normal start for each players. As I said, I did not really feel much of a drive, much motivation to produce content in these past few months. I say half year. But I really had a lot going on in my mind, and I just tried to force myself to do it, but I could never actually build up that motivation to force myself to craft. So now I'm finally feeling some interest in this once again, and I'm glad to be able to do this for that. I don't know how consistent I'll be. I don't know when my next cast will be, but I do know that I am going to be at least trying to get you guys a cast every so often. As you can see, Asba does have some Lord Archers on the way. His opponent Talos does have some Orc Warriors out in the field. Getting a second pit up. It looks like he's going to be going for a Horizon Palace. He's going to go for that double pit spam. A few things have changed in version 8. Although builder kills have not changed. Apparently, Talos wanted to go in for the scout with his builder and did not anticipate archers coming in and slaying that builder instantly. War crimes abound today. But anyway, you do have some more archers going up to creep the troll lair over there. Actually, it looks like you do have that racks into early cav for Asba. It looks like that build order has not changed since the patch release. Now, I do not know all the patch changes. I've been meaning to go through the changelog and get versed on that, and I've read into it a couple of times, but I just haven't been able to sit down and fully focus on it for a long time. And I do worry that most of the stuff that I do learn is going to get lost on me not long after I finish reading it. Looks like a level 2 Horizon Palace there. So Talos going for some Horizon Lancers pretty early on as well. Both players going for that early cav. Talos, it looks like, or excuse me, Asba, I think, will get his creep up in the alcove of the river there. Talos, however, going across, also has these battalions in the south, or this battalion in the south, going to get worked down though before it can even do any real damage. But it's going to be having multiple battalions of orcs moving across. So Mythlon Sentries looks like going to go creep this war glare over there on the southern side of the map for Asba. Some lances coming on the field though. And finally some Lorien Warriors going to come on the field. But with the Eye of Sauron deep buff being purchased for Talos, he's going to be going for the Mount Tree, and with those two battalions of Orc Warriors, even with the Fortress Fire, he is going to get it down, I do believe. And I do believe I was incorrect, as the Cavalry Trample managed to take it out. However, Horizon Lancers coming in. Gonna meet a lot of opposition though, but gonna get some good tramples. Rally Call being chosen and used there. Maybe how to get the burp in. It always has to happen, even in version 8. Talos with a lot of Orc Warriors. I would love to see him go for a Troll Cage next, or perhaps he could go for a Gothmog. Asba gonna get the creep down there. And it looks like there's going to be a few Orc Warriors going to be working on this mountain tree over here. Talos is going to be able to get his Horizon Lancers battalion out. Don't think they did. I think they did do some damage, and they managed to almost get a level, so they can get to level 2. He'll be able to regen. I think those Orc Warriors aren't going to get. Yeah, they're not going to be able to finish off that mountain tree with those cavalry coming in. Asba looking to maybe get a second creep, or he could get this slaughterhouse in the south. Talos, as you can see, is at 2.5 power points, whereas his opponent is at 3.5. So Asba taking a bit of a lead there. 325 out of 400 versus 350 out of 450. So not much of a discrepancy in command points there, but the game is still early on, and it's not really going to be easy to tell. Single Orc Warrior going to face down the hordes of hell there and not survive. Looks like a well going up, so this cavalry, I think, for Asba is going to be sticking around for a while. It's going to keep replenishing their ranks and also healing them up. So we could see a little bit of a cavalry ball there. I'm not sure if that's part of the new version A meta. Asba looking like he has to defend maybe, but Talos redirecting to the south. Doesn't have a whole lot there though, just a couple orc warriors and an Easterling battalion. Asba really maybe he should go for a second orc pit or third orc pit. I mean, maybe upgrade one of his orc pits. I really do think though he needs a drummer troll or a Gothmog to provide some sort of leadership to his troops. Looks like Asba is going to go for the creep on the troll after checking out that slaughterhouse there. Talos splitting up his troops a lot, and I think they're all going to get picked off there. Might be able to get one Maltrine down, but there comes the cavalry. More cavalry up in the north waiting to harass. But the Lancers in the south are going to be able to finish. I feel like Talos should be pumping those in so they can maybe pick off one of the Malentries and get that rank that they need to regen. And I think Talos will not be able to get this Malentry as well. So that's 2 Malentries he's gotten close to. Excuse me, more burps. They're denied. However, he is going to lose one of his Malentries to the Azarajam Lancers. Builder going to pop a wall hub. As you can see, you don't have a whole lot going on. A second Azarajam Palace going on in the field. But not a whole lot going on with the resources of Talos. Over Asba sitting on 1800, he could potentially get a Glorfindel or maybe a Haldir. I feel like a Haldir would be a good choice here so he can get that leadership later on in the game. Now sitting on 2000, so Asba really cash floating. Might be going for a hero there. He is gonna has gotten 3 creeps in this game. He does have the inn as well. Could start harassing with those wildmen, or excuse me, the Rohan peasants, excuse me, in the south. Big engagement here as Asba crosses the ford. Talos does have those archers on the backside though, whereas Asba's archers are not going to do much. They get right up on the front line, in fact, and Talos is going to come in the backside. Reese Horizon Lance is going to be on the run, level 2, but I think Asba's going to be able to clean them up with his Lances right there. And Talos, or Asba, still sitting on a lot of cash there. Going to be going for a level 2 stables. Could be going for some Lintons potentially. Talos going to be able to finish off this attack here, but the cavalry going to come in. However, it does need to get it out of there, as those archers will mow it down quite effectively. Asba does have a level 2 farm that's going to go down here. And he's still not gotten another orc pit, a level orc pit, a troll cage. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he's really stunted as you can see, his economy is very small. He can't really expand out. He hasn't gotten any creeps, really. He's gotten 1 creep. But he's not really got much in the way of money. I think that's what's costing him. Also, apparently he went for a level 3 Harajam Palace with some Harajam archers. And that's going to cost him a lot of money as well. And I don't think that's the right choice to be making right here. It will be interesting to see how that pans out. But again, I really do think he needs some sort of buff on these Orc Warriors as they are just dropping like flies. His opponent. And his opponent does have a sizable economy, as you can see, over to the south. Just really has full map control on the southern side of the river. Doesn't really have any contest in the north, could expand up there. As these Lancers are now once again snipping away at the economy of Talos. Level 3 battalion of Mithlond sentries, I think is going to go down here. Or it's just going to get walked right past and Talos is going to go straight for that Malentry. Not a bad choice, he does need to get this economy down, or it's just going to go right past. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe just send him to attack move, or just move in some direction. But Talos is going to get another creep over there, so he's going to get a bit more money. But Asba does have those 2 Lancer battalions right over there, as well as another Lancer battalion in the south. Has a lot of archers over in the north. And this harassing force is not going to do much damage at all. Especially if Asba can get some sort of defensive front line in front of those archers. Talos now sitting at 15 power points total with the 2 5s and extra 5 power point. Almost 1400, he could get his Gothmog. That would be very good for him. Going to be popping up a tower to defend this level 2 farm as he's tired of harassing, and I do agree. He has been harassed a lot and not been able to do much for his opponent. These forces are going to come in. No meat shield for the archers, but so many archers, especially the level 3 archers, and they're going to mow down these opponents quickly. We'll need to be careful though. 1,800 for Talos, 7 power points. However, Asba sitting on 12 power points, this is 5, so 17, whereas Talos sitting on 17 as well. So a bit of an even matchup in power points. Talos looking to have, I think, leveled the playing field a little bit there. Dropped it down to less than half a power point with a gap. Talos going to get one mountain tree down here, but it's going to lose another one. He's going to lose his harassing forces. He once again fails to get a mountain tree down. Gets it to about 2/3 health. And Asba now with 3 battalions of Lancers up at the well has purchased the Elven Wood power, whereas Talos has not purchased any of his third 5 power points, so I think he's saving for a 10 there. Talos has a large force in the middle here, as well as a defending force coming to the south, as he does have to deal with a lot of enemy troops down there. He doesn't know it though. But Asba gonna have to use his cavalry. You're gonna have them charge straight through those Lancers almost. You're gonna lose a third of a battalion there, but does have this harassing force up in the north. Only 1 melee unit in there, but he will be able to, with the archers, take care of anything that maybe could take care of it. Take it out. Still has this battalion of Rajam Lancers at home that from the very start of the game that he hasn't used. But they are going to charge in and die as soon as I notice that they're still alive. How ironic. A level 2 archery range for Asba, going for some Mirkwoods finally. And it looks like Talos is going to have his archer line completely unprotected and lose some Rajam Lancers. Going to deal a little bit of damage, but only a couple of pikes in there. Not able to really protect his archers and lose most of them there. Once again, sending his harassing force 2 Orc warriors and a Rajam or Eastling battalion down to the south to harass. I've started being casted by Talos there, and then the Lances move out of range. I'm not sure what that was. Talos once again moving back across the North River, needs to get away from his opponent as these archers are really just mowing down his troops. 1 battalion, almost level 4 now. Asba gets to deal with towers coming up around his opponent's base to defend, as he has been quite effective with his harass. But he also is having to deal with some harassing down to the south. Some Rohan I always want to say spearmen. Rohan peasants coming out to deal with them. They do not have the Rohirrim shields, which would be useful for them. Asba once again coming in to harass. The Eye of Sauron now moving to the south to try and help out these troops, but I don't think it's going to be enough, especially with the Mirkwoods there. They're going to work down these forces quickly, and this mountain tree is almost level 3. That would have been a good pickup if they gotten the buff on him. Talos going to get another mountain tree, but going to lose all of his forces here. Level 4 Eastling battalion. And there goes the Asba's forces going into that back corner. Not going to be safe though, but might be able to get out. The cavalry of Asba needs to go back down to heal up at the well. And Asba still having a fairly confident hold economically speaking. I almost said ergonomically speaking there. Industry, however, being purchased for at Talos as his 10 power point. He's going to get that, and that's going to be big for him, as that increases output on his farm by 200%. So it now produces, as you can see there, 109. That's enough for that's 3 farms right there. So he's now sitting on only those 4 farms that he has, but this one producing the output of 3 is like he's sitting on 6. Plus the 2 lumber camps there, he could make up for his loss of economic control and start building more expensive troops. Maybe get that Drummer Troll or Gothmog that he needs to buff his troops. I do think a Drummer Troll would be a better pick for him, as he's got a lot of troops that are not orcs in the mix. His opponent, however, having 9 power points, whereas he is sitting on 6. So I think it's still the same discrepancy there, as it's an extra 5 power points without that second 5 for Asba. Talos or Asba got the Rivendell or the level 2 patch there, but not purchasing any Linden horse archers. As you can see, Elven Wood was used there in the front line, and apparently there's a Entmoot being put forward up by Asba. This is going to be fortifying this position in the forward here. Fire arrows being purchased for Talos because he has that extra money. But Asba still sitting at a hefty 1,000 after not really doing much. He's going for a level 3 barracks there, so he's going to get some Noldors in the field. But I really do think you could see Asba go for some heroes. It'd be a good choice. These Rohan peasants going to try and work down this slaughterhouse. I don't know if they're going to be successful. However, the orcs are kind of foodling about, but a siegeworks. Excuse me. Siegeworks coming up for Talos. War chant being used as Talos takes his engagement here in the middle. Tries to force the ball of his opponent to shrink in size, as his archers are really just building up. He's got a lot of archers. There are 5 battalions. But as you can see, there is the barbed arrows coming down from the level 3 Herodon archer battalion. Still looks a bit unconvincing. I don't know if Talos has the forces to undo his opponent here. Especially with the lances coming in from the north. Talos is going to be moving his archers closer to the pikes, but with that much cav, I don't think 1 battalion of cav is going to be enough. However, the orcs are going to get through the melee line and going to get onto the archer line. But with the lances coming in, Talos is going to lose all of his archer corps there. Level 3 barracks for Asba. Still level 1 orc pits though for Talos. Going for a level 2 siege works. Talos is a good choice there. Needs to get some catapults in the field. Once again, having to rebuild his economy. Isn't really able to push out. Is cementing his hold in his... not sure what to call this. His semicircle of the map. He's kind of cementing his hold there. Towers going up. Lots of production. A lot of troops here, but he's basically just camping it out. His opponent has free reign. Now has expansion up to the north. Is basically having full map control. Talos does have a lot of troops there, though. He could try and push in. I think he should before his opponent gets tree-pierced on the field, which he is halfway there. I don't see any Noldors in the field yet, though. I don't know if Asba can afford them yet. But there are a lot of Mirkwoods, 3 battalions, as well as those 2 battalions of Lorne Archers. A level 4 battalion, almost level 5, halfway there. Asba gonna go in to do some harass, though. Needs to keep his opponent from growing his economy. However, there is a tower coming up to defend that southern flank. Catapults coming out for Asba, or excuse me, for Talos. Oh, and there it is. I see the leadership. Gothmog is on the field. He finally is. And so Talos now has a buff on his troops, and he should have a chance in some engagements now. Asba, however, gonna find this open flank. Gonna try and get a builder kill here, and I think he might be able to get it. Don't know if Talos will get it out. As Asba tries to throw up a tower, and Talos tries to throw up a tower, and Asba blocks it. Destroys it before it can start being built. But the second time it will not be denied. Have a big engagement here as Talos uses that Tainted Land. Catapult coming in. Arrow volley though going down the archer line of his opponent. Treebeard gonna work down this tower from afar though. Needs to get rid of that before he can push. But the catapult with a humongous range gonna take out the archer line of his opponent. But the lance is gonna come on the backside and take him out. The catapult gonna go down. Lancers, I don't know if they're gonna survive much longer though. As they lose. I think all 3 battalions are still alive actually. Loses almost all the troops. But will be sitting on all 3 battalions, I do believe. And I think Talos did not manage to make this engagement work for him. Gothma going balls deep will be able to get out, I think. But these archers going to the front line. 2 battalions, in fact. And Treebeard's still alive. Barricade someone being used, apparently. I didn't notice that. As you can see, PowerPoint-wise, it's going to be 35 for Talos, plus the 2 PowerPoints, whereas opponent does have 34. So Talos actually sitting on 3 PowerPoints more than his opponent there, and that's going to be a good lead for him. He's going to have to pull back though, and Treebeard will be able to keep working on these structures from afar. Noldor's in the field finally, 2 battalions. And with all 3 battalions of those Rivendell Lances going to stay alive, Talos not really doing much damage to his opponent's harassing force. Going to get a few power points, of course, but the force is not costing him anything, and it's able to regen. Talos is, though, going to try and push back in on his opponent there. Does have a war chant going down, as well as that leadership buff from Gothmog. And Talos, or Asba, wisely not going to engage here, going to retreat onto the Elven land over by his Entmoot. A second well going up as Asba is going to try and make a fast regeneration station. Asba having complete map control now. As he expands up closer to this creep in the north, there it was. Gothmog, still level 1, hasn't gotten much in the way of leveling. As Asba, or Talos, tries to push in. I'm really rusty, sorry about this guys, I'm having a bit of trouble remembering the players and everything. And a little bit of lag here. I'm not sure what it is. As Asba charges the line here. I'm not sure what all that lag was. There was a lot of lag there. Most probably was saved into the replay. Catapult gonna go down, and once again Talos gonna lose this push. Not be able to take out the Entmoot. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get Gothmog out. Does have a level 3 siege work, so he's gonna obviously be going for some Black Riders. Not sure what prompted this choice, but they could be effective at harassing his opponent. He does need some cavalry that can withstand his opponent's cavalry. Gothmog almost level 3, at level 5 he will get that Iron Hand ability. But Asba is pushing in and is going to work down his opponent's economy from afar with Treebeard as he's still alive. Look at these unemployed laborers. I think, actually, since they're not unemployed, I think Talos had the idea to use them to work down Treebeard, as they do deal bonus damage versus Ents. And they were clearly purposed for something with all that box formation. Asba still has the cavalry, they're healing up at home. I think they're going to move out to go harass in a moment. As Talos begins to push, finally begins to push across the ford to the south. Also harassing. Don't know if it's going to be effective, but here comes the cavalry. And if they find this farm, it's just going to be stunted right at the start. No levels for these Noldors. They've seen a lot of damage. A lot of fighting, though. There is Farsight, as you could hear here, there, being casted in. Asba will have sight of his opponent's Black Riders as the Black Riders begin to try and maneuver around. Talos sitting at 7 power points. And his opponent sitting at 6. And actually, not a huge discrepancy, I don't think, there anymore. Black Rider's going to try and get a little bit of experience there, but not going to do much damage with the Elven Wood, and going to lose almost half of their health for very little. Gothmog in the front line once again, going to be working down his opponent. Doesn't have that carnage ability, finally has it back. It looks like Talos could get the Entmoot if he tries hard. Does have to be worried about this harassing force in the south, though. His opponent does sitting on 2,500 command points, or excuse me, resources. So, as you can see, he does have the Encasing Vines. His fort could be going for that Eagle summon. And is going for it. Wants the Eagle. I'm not sure if that's the best choice. His opponent does have a lot of elite archers. With fire arrows, nonetheless. Cavalry gonna take out this slaughterhouse in no time. Black Rider's gonna try and get some levels off of this Malentry. 10 power points for Talos. So he is closer. Actually, no, he's, or excuse me, 10 power points for Asba, for who I was viewing. Whereas Talos is looking at 12 power points, so he is closer to his 15 power point. I can't remember what that is. Is it Barrage or is it Darkness? I don't remember if Mordor has Freezing Rain. It's been a long time since I've really paid attention to this game in earnest. Looks like the cavalry is going to be able to get out of there once again for Asba. Really going to keep those guys alive. Barricade Summon once again going up, but with Treebeard on the field, the Barricade Summon just doesn't do much to his opponent. 1,300 resources though. And just like that, he doesn't have 1,300. 3,000 now for Asba. Does have the Giant Eagle on the way. I don't know how effective that'll be though with the opponent's elite archers in the field. Black Rider's gonna come in. Very low health, but they might be able to take out this harassing force. 13 power points for Asba. 15 for Talos, 15 for Talos. He could get, I think it's Barrage, although the power tree might have changed for version 8. I'm not sure. Talos now having to deal with opponent pushing in level 5 Archer Battalion. And he's going to start working down his opponent here, pushing in closer and closer. Black Bear is going right into the mix. Going to get half a level, but going to lose, I think, the entire battalion there. But there it is, the rock drop going down on Asba's forces for 50 power point. And that's going to be a big game changer, as there's really nothing remaining. I mean, Asba has one battalion of Noldors, very low health, but Gothmog's there, working down his opponent. I did not see it, but apparently that Entmoot did go down. Asba has some forces in the south he could go into harass with. Eagle is on the field, though. But there's just so many Haradrim archers by his opponent. Finally, you do have, however, a troll cage coming on the field. You can see some drummer trolls coming in to play here, and giving all troops the leadership bonus. Oh, and a Regian Forge up in the north for Asba. I have no idea why it's up in the north in this exposed position, but Gothmog and this harassing force is going to find it and work it down unopposed. I think Talos, or excuse me, Asba might have lost one of his battalions of Lancers in that fight there, because he only has 2 now. Eagle, though, going to be moving in. Perhaps take out these towers. That could be, I could see that could be useful, but I really just don't think that Eagle's going to be very effective. Unless, of course, he's able to keep them away from the archers. His opponent's archers are all up in the north, so he could be banking on that. Black Bear's coming in, though. Going to be working on these Lancers, maybe? Lancers, however, going to quickly be going through and trampling all those laborers, the war crimes. If there are any children watching, I am sorry, parents, for that they had to see those war crimes. The Regian Forge being rebuilt at home. I don't know why it was up in the north. Doesn't make any sense. Wasn't even being used. Asba trying to push in a little bit, but the Black Riders, I think, going to find these Noldors. Mithlon's there to protect them, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. And Talos does have to deal with Treebeard up in the north. Treebeard's been a bit of a problem for him all game. So he is able to just take out his opponent's infrastructure and economy from afar, and he's not able to really do much about it. Eagle, as you can see, with the return of the archers there, almost dying, barely manages to get free and fly home. It looks like Asba has not continued using the inn in the south. Black Riders coming in. Gonna look for some harass, I do believe. As far as power points do go, you do have Talos sitting at 6 power points plus the 15 plus 2 10s and all 3 5s. His opponent is sitting at, he has the end summon, so he just have a 15 power point. He has all 3 5s, 2 10s, and a 15, and 5 power points. So Talos having a 2 power point advantage over his opponent, less than 2 power points, I do believe, actually. But he has all those Haradrim archers, excuse me. Catapult coming in. I don't know. I do think this push is going to be huge, especially does Talos. He does have War Chant off of standby as well as Eye of Sauron, so he could double buff his troops. As long as he doesn't catapult them first, of course. Treebeard and this force up in the north going to be continuing to snip away at this economy of his opponent, but as you can see, the economic advantage that Asba had early on is slowly being chipped away, as well as his opponent is quickly having greater advantage by having much stronger economy with that industry. Eagle sitting in the back here, not able to do much with these Haradrim archers still on the field. However, I think Asba will win this engagement. He has the archers and the lancers still. Catapult is still in the mix, but it's not really going to do much against these opponents here. So he's going to be moving too fast. 1700 for Talos. I do apologize for every time I pause before saying a name, because I'm always worried I'm going to say the wrong name. More catapults on the field, though. Level 2 Troll Cage. I don't see any drummer trolls in the field, though. Treebeard working things down, but I think he needs to get out of there. His opponent is coming in with melee as well as a catapult, and he's not going to be able to do much about that. Don't know if he can outrun it, actually. Eagle returning home. I have Sauron once again sitting uselessly. I'm not sure what's going on there, but you do see Talos with 16 power points, 9 power points away from his 25, and I do believe he will have access to the Balrog. Talos now diverting his troops south, but then changing his direction. Doesn't have much to contest in the south, although here comes his opponent at the moment. Barricade summon being used. I didn't see it down here. No. I've never seen this. I wonder if this is new for version 8. You have the Black Riders coming in. Gonna try and pick up a few more levels. However, the Eagle gonna be useful against that. I think that might have been the reason he went for the Eagle. I don't think that was the best choice just to get the Eagle. But the Eagle is a good counter to the Black Riders. The Lancers and the Eagle are worked down. The Lancers and the Eagle work down the Black Riders. No armor upgrades or weapons upgrades being purchased for Talos at the moment. He's just focusing on pumping troops. Catapult's gonna be moving in, gonna get some harassment done. And there's an Elrond on the field for Asba. But I'm looking around, there's a Legolas as well. I don't see Treebeard though. I think Treebeard was taken out up in the north here by his opponent. He was overextended and wasn't able to keep up. Asba's expansion to the north being almost completely chipped away. Does have this one stray mountain tree that's kind of tucked away at the edge of the map. But Talos now pushing in on his opponent's base. Black Riders kind of need to get another level so they can regen as they're down a unit. They are healing, however. Elrond does provide leadership at level 1, so he would be quite useful in engagements such as these. However, he is off on his own, facing down the entire horde of Talos. And Talos' infrastructure at home much stronger than his opponent's, with 6 production buildings, where his opponent is sitting on only 3. However, that is to be expected, as Asba does require, as Elves, to be rely more on a snowball of troops instead of just constant spamming. Black Riders taking a lot of damage. Eagle taking a lot of damage though, as these Roger Archers coming in. Black Riders I think are gonna get this, but oh, there's a Balrog summon going down. Talos has reached his 25 power point summon. Does he have the troops to back this up? His opponent still has his arrow volley, has almost all of his powers actually, including the end summon. But Asba just not able to go in and do any damage with the end summon. Talos is pushing in with a lot of forces around the base. They're kind of scattered though, but the Balrog gonna ignite here in front of the base. If he can get his infrastructure down, this will be big. As his opponent once again does rely on that snowball, and without any infrastructure to replace the snowball that he lost, and he's been trying to replace since that rock drop on him earlier on. I think he's gonna lose all of his infrastructure here. Arrow volley though gonna go down on the catapults and the archers, and Elrond along with the remaining fire is gonna work on the catapult and stop the damage to his fortress. However, there is these melee troops in the south that were coming in, gonna be dealing with the Entmoot. The Balrog gonna power whip that Eregion Forge. Still has half his time. As you can see though, he is not dealing as much damage. Ignite has worn off. Tom Bombadil summon going down. Eagle up in the north. I'm trying to find out where the Tom Bombadil is. Bombadil going down on this opponent here, trying to take out the Entmoot. I think the Entmoot might still go down. Bombadil dealing some decent damage, taking care of some of his opponent. But the barracks and the Eregion Forge going down, so Asba now with no production but the Entmoot. And with the troops split up, I think this is gonna go down. These Noldors in the south, kind of forgotten by Asba in the heat of the moment, I think. Drummer Troll sitting at home, as well as finally level 2 Orc Pits, and Black Orcs coming out for Talos here. Balrog gonna time out. Tom Bombadil gonna be focused down by the archers. Not necessarily the best choice there. The archers sit in range of the fort, trying to bombard it. Gonna deal a little bit of damage at a time. Talos going to be, however, basically controlling the map now completely. Elrond going to be level 2. Legolas going to be level 2. As you can see, Asba is sitting on 10k. Don't know if he can really go for much. Black Orc's not coming in, and actually, it looks like Talos went for some upgrades. He did get the upgrades. Catapult's coming in. Drum Ritual's still sitting at home, though. Asba, I think he's just forgetting about those Noldors on the south there. Maybe he's too busy microing his Elrond. Haldir on the field, actually, so apparently Asba did purchase another hero. Tomato Red Gothmog on the field. And looks like Asba's gone for the hero spam, as he apparently had a lot more money than I thought, and he spent it all. Has 4 heroes now on the field. And I think the fortress is definitely going to go down here. It is absolutely going to go down here with all these troops. The eagle cannot do anything about this. Asba really should use his end summon while he can. Try and maybe get some damage to these troops. But I do think this is just going to be the end of the game here. These heroes are not going to be enough. Rock Drop going to be used on the builder here as it's trying to build up another barracks. And Gothmog has troops going right into the Rock Drop. Always typical of Biffing fashion. Talos, I think, is going to be GG here. It really is. There's no way for Asba to come back. And so, well played by Talos, sticking it through at the beginning there. It was really difficult for him early on. Eagle is going to be able to take down most of the troops, barely save this barracks. The heroes here, however, in trouble. Eagle needs to be careful with all these archers. Gonna go for the catapult, and Gothmog gonna get taken out, giving Haldir and Glorfindel a level. And it looks like the problem would be staved off for just a second, giving Asba just a little respite before he dies. But then the Worm Summon coming in, and that'll end his opponent completely. He's gonna burn down the barracks there, and as soon as he gets the second barracks down, the Eagle barely stopping the Fire Breath, and the barracks filling up just in time. But that Worm just gonna go in and melt it, and once this building goes down, it's game over for Asba. So well played by Talos in holding it out. Really had a tough start there. Couldn't get his economy underway. Had to wait for the industry. And once that industry hit, and especially the Rock Drop, that really did turn the game around for him. I think Asba could have done with a little bit of hero work earlier on. He went too late for heroes. Also might have gotten more Ents. Could have gone for upgrades. He had a lot of cash. He kept cash floating, and I think that was kind of his problem there. But anyway, a great game. A really good game to start off with for version 8. So I hope y'all enjoyed that cast. I kind of really did as well. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of it, what you would like to see. Again, I do not promise any games in the future, but I will let you know that there will be one coming. I just don't know when. Anyway, I do hope y'all enjoyed this cast, and I will see y'all in the next one. Hopefully it won't be 6 months.